Hey guys, it's Rachel. It is Thankful Thursday, and you've got me and Kel this week. I'm kind of really exhausted, so if I don't make much sense, I'm just really tired at the moment. I've got a lot of work going on, and I had a really difficult beginning to the week with my aunt. She's an alcoholic, and I ended up in A&E with her, and it was just a really difficult and draining experience. So I'm kind of a bit out of it. I do have new hair though. It's not really behaving very well at the moment. This week we've been looking at different eating disorders. Yeah, they are eating disorders that are maybe not as talked about. I say eating disorders, body dysmorphic disorder isn't an eating disorder, but kind of the things that skirt around that type of issue. Today I'm going to look at orthorexia with Kel. We've looked at a number of different things, including, like I said, body dysmorphic disorder. I think somebody's looking at pica. I think someone's going to look at binge eating disorder, maybe sleep disorder. Well, sleep eating disorders, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to think where to start. I have had experiences with orthorexia. Let me just turn this music down. When I first tried to recover from my anorexia, kind of 2001, I gained some weight back. I was a bit of a healthier weight. I wasn't a healthy weight, but I was healthier than I had been. And I'd really been struggling with that weight gain, and struggling with eating normally again. And what actually happened towards the end of 2001 and into 2002 was that what I now know and did later discover was a guise for sort of my anorexia was something along the lines of orthorexia. I did eat. I just was incredibly careful with what I ate. I wanted to eat clean foods. I didn't like things that were dark. I wouldn't have anything that was processed. What I now know is more available, certainly for vegans at the moment, and this kind of idea of raw food, nothing being baked, cooked, fried, processed. I started doing yoga. I started drinking teas that would cleanse me. I wanted to know exactly where my food had come from, and was very anxious around that, and in that regard I think that orthorexia, and as you know, people have said with eating disorders, are quite closely linked to anxiety disorders, obsessive compulsive disorders. I was neurotic. I was completely neurotic. Cut out all caffeine, all sort of diet cokes, that type of thing. I wouldn't eat out. I needed to know exactly where my food was from. I didn't trust it. If I hadn't seen exactly where it come from, I would only eat certain brands of food that I believe to be organic, purer. I was vegetarian. I've been vegetarian since I was 12, so that was kind of had been there anyway. But I went vegan, which means I cut out most things like pasta and stuff like that, because quite a bit of pasta has egg in it. I was just completely neurotic, and that kind of lasted a while, and obviously I lost weight, and obviously there was concern, and I was naive enough at the time to believe that I was doing the best thing for myself. That's when I started to pick up the over-exercising again. And I managed to convince myself, and I didn't convince those around me, that I was doing the right thing, the healthy thing. I was looking after myself. I was nurturing myself. And yes, there is something to be said for following a healthy diet. I follow a healthy diet now. Now I eat far too much chocolate and probably eat far too many sweets. And I do tend to snack on stuff like that. But you know, I have a healthy diet. I'm a vegetarian. I eat a lot of beans and pulses, protein like tofu and corn. I try and avoid processed foods. I'm so lazy, it's ridiculous, so I don't tend to cook for myself. My mum does. So she will make me things like chilies from scratch, and I tend to, like I said, I use a lot of corn in the food, and tofu, I'll make stir fries and that type of thing. I tend to eat wheat-free pasta because of issues with kind of IBS. And I guess what I'm trying to get at here while I'm talking about this is that it is good to be healthy, and I think it's good to have a reasonable amount of exercise in your life. I dance every week and I pole dance every week, and that's kind of balanced enough for me, and I will sometimes take short walks. And yeah, I do try to not have overly processed food, but you know, I'm not neurotic about it, and you know, I will go out for Chinese food, Indian food, whatever, and I don't have to know where every food item I eat is from. We tend to food shop in places where we sort of, when I say we, my family sort of trust, and like I said, I do try to kind of build things up from scratch myself. But orthorexia is an anxiety, is what I would call it. It's a neurosis. It's masking something else. If you're to the point of just, you know, needing to know where every food item is from. And I see it a lot. I have a couple of friends who are eating disordered, anorexia, well, bulimics as well, who are vegan. And I think it's all well and good that you keep a vegan lifestyle or vegetarian lifestyle, if you're healthy with it. But the fact that they're anorexic and very underweight, if not emaciated, and following that, I think it's a very fine line. And I think that if you want to continue with that when you're more stable or more recovered, I think that's fair enough. But I think one has to be very mindful about following such a strict diet whilst trying to recover from an eating disorder. And so yes, you can be vegan and what have you, but you need to be healthy as well. And like I said, I know a few people who follow a vegan lifestyle, and I don't know, I find the boundaries a bit too kind of blurry, and it doesn't surprise me that they remain eating disordered and underweight. And what I think can come out of such restriction, I never developed bulimia. I don't know why I didn't, but I do know the people who are vegan, vegetarian, and follow such a strict lifestyle, such restrictive foods, binge, and they don't give a shit what they binge on. So it's kind of like, you know, where is that balance as well? You're telling me on the one hand you're vegetarian, vegan, whatever, and then you're binging. To me, that says that something's not right. And if you are binging on such things, that tells me that your body's missing something. And that's what I mean in that balance between eating healthily, being mindful. Yes, if you wish to be vegan, vegetarian, then, you know, I'm still vegetarian. I've never at any point eaten meat since I was 12. I just haven't. And I think that's fair enough, and certainly eating disorder units now offer a vegetarian alternative alongside that, and I think that's only reasonable. But when it comes to kind of being really neurotic, I think you need to be honest with yourself, certainly if you're still losing weight, and certainly if you think that your eating disorder is still active. Okay guys, I hope I've kind of discussed that a little bit, and sort of explained some of the boundaries and the differences between kind of, you know, something that's neurotic and something that's being healthy and mindful. And I'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye.